about them dogs? They're back. They're back. Georgia's back. Oh, God. Took 1 week off. Now they're out for revenge. As expected. I mean, who thought Tennessee was going to win that game? Maybe Shane did in the first quarter. But, all right, we'll get into that in just a minute. There's a lot to get into. Latest SEC power rankings. I do have I have an announcement, though. An announcement. First of all, let's cheers it up. Cheers it up to them dogs for whooping ass again like we knew they would. But I'm just warning you guys. I don't know if Cousin Shane's going to make the show tomorrow. He hasn't told me he won't, but he has informed me that his cinnamon allergy has backfired, and he cannot open his eyes. So hopefully that gets cured by tomorrow. But until then, let's get into the power rankings. Team A beats Team B on a neutral field. That's the only thing that we use for these power rankings. So let's get into it. Number 16, Mississippi State. They didn't play this week. Even if they did, I didn't pay attention to it because they're that bad. So on to the next team. Kentucky, you beat the hell out of Murray State, whatever the hell it was. No change for you. I'm going to speed through some of these because there were some really awful games this weekend. But, I mean, hell, I'm not going to move you up or down for Murray. Auburn, 14, good showing. ULM, they actually had a better record than you, but you completely dominated them. So, no real change there. You could bicker 14, 13, 12. But the teams ahead of you beat you on your field. So, for now, I'm leaving Auburn 14. 13, Oklahoma. You didn't play. That's good because you would have got a loss no matter who you were playing, even if it was maybe Maine. So I'm leaving Oklahoma at 13. 12, Arkansas. God, what was that? What was that? Razorbacks. You had it. You had it all there in front of you, but you couldn't make the plays. Defense, pretty stout. Offense, Just let that one go. That's hard to stomach. But all right, on with the rankings. Number 11, LSU. God. Brian Kelly. What are we doing here with Brian Kelly? Is this man going to make it? $100 million? 3 losses in a row? Including, I still think Florida's not that good. I mean, some people are on damn cloud 9 because they won a damn football game. Billy Napier's 2-9 in rivalry games. Hell of a retention. No, we're just going to win 5 games next year too. But hey, DJ Lagway will be better. Trust me. So he is awesome. So we'll get to him in a minute. But LSU, what the hell are we doing? We got guys after the game. Anybody that missed it, we'll highlight it on Sunday's show. On the big Jaden Baugh run, Wes Weeks said half of us didn't know the play. They don't know the defensive play. That sounds familiar. Sounds like last season, doesn't it? So it's going great on LSU. I think Brian Kelly's going to start to get some heat under his ass. He's in no danger right now, but this is awful. You cannot lose 3 in a row at LSU. You just can't. Missouri 10. That lucky rabbit's foot. It was there. I thought you were going to win this football game. I think even South Carolina thought you were going to win this game till Lenore Sellers and company stepped up and seized it there at the end. They're playing like a championship team, South Carolina is. We'll get to them in a minute, but Brady Cook, what a warrior. Didn't even think he was going to suit up for this game, yet he leads a drive to win the football game there with not much time left in the game. That was a tough one. Missouri, They deserve some respect because they've been discounted and counted out. And all you people that don't like Missouri, you hate Missouri. So I don't get it. We should be rooting for teams like this. They make college football fun, and they nearly pulled off maybe the biggest upset of the weekend in the SEC. But number 10, I got you, Missouri. I feel like that's about right. Maybe you could bicker a couple spots higher, a couple spots lower for all you Missouri haters out there. But that's not me. Number 9, Florida. Big time win. I guess this is a signature win. What was the spread? Like 4 points? So, yeah, it was a nice win. Florida, they're having a hell of a time trolling Brian Kelly on social media, so I do enjoy that. Florida's likely going to go to a bowl game now. All they got to do is beat Florida State or Ole Miss. They're going to be big underdogs against Ole Miss, but Florida State, maybe the worst Power 5 team in the country. Surely you can beat them. You can get you to a bowl game. Let's see. How about number 8, Vanderbilt? You didn't play. Not going to really talk about you. Number 7, Alabama. You played, but did you really? You played Mercer. I'm not going to talk about you. Number 6, South Carolina. No change here. Again, that was a tight one. It came down to the wire. You could have lost this football game. I can no longer say you're whooping everybody's ass, but you're still winning. That's all that really matters. But I don't know. I wish South Carolina could make the playoff because I think they could do some damage in there. But I'm starting to think even a slight win over Missouri is not going to get you in there. It's not going to impress people enough to skyrocket you up the rankings, which you really need to do because time's running out on you. I think South Carolina may end up being like the highest ranked team that doesn't make the field, if that makes sense, like 12, 13, because what's going to happen, G5 champ or Big 12 champ or ACC champ's not going to be top 12. So there could be a top 12 team that doesn't make the playoff, unfortunately. And I think that might be South Carolina. They deserve to make it, in my opinion. Number 5, A&M, just completely blew the doors off New Mexico State tonight. That was what I wanted to see. Not overlooking a team, not thinking ahead to Texas, not thinking ahead to Auburn. So taking care of business, lower level team. That's all you can ask for. I'm very consistent with that. When you play a team of this caliber, beat the hell out of them. You beat the hell out of them. I may have docked A&M a point here, but it's really nothing they did. It's just some of the things these other teams. I'm pretty sure I flip-flopped it with number 4 Tennessee. Tennessee, tough loss. You had a 10-0 lead in Athens. Then you basically got completely dominated. I think the final tally 31-7 after you had the 10-point lead. So tough day for the Tennessee. It may cost you a playoff spot. I don't think it should. And nothing's final. There's still several weeks to go, but you're on the outside looking in. You're basically flip-flop with Georgia now. So Georgia's in, you're out as of probably the next playoff rankings, but you'll be right there on the. You need an upset or two, probably just one upset if you're Tennessee and you're in there. But again, you go into Athens. Who in the hell goes into Athens and gives the Dogs all they can handle for 3 quarters? Not many people. And really, I know the final score is a little lopsided. Georgia scored right at the end there to give it a 2-touchdown game. Which, hell, this is what we thought would happen, right? I was honestly impressed with Tennessee and their game plan coming out. So Tennessee, you did nothing. In fact, I moved you up, even though you lost on the road. Tough environment. I think Tennessee deserves to make the college football playoff. We'll see if they actually get there. Texas, number 3. Docked them a couple spots. Again, not necessarily anything they did, but 10-point win at Arkansas. Solid performance. They didn't do anything bad. I mean, you go on the road, you win by double digits. That's a hell of a day. Anybody in this conference will take it. But it's more about Georgia, number 2, whipping Tennessee in the second half. And in fairness, Georgia whipped Texas at Texas. So how can I have Texas ahead of a team that, quite frankly, dominated them? I can't do it. So Georgia, I got them number 2, Texas number 3. And that means I got Ole Miss number 1. I moved Ole Miss up. Their win over Georgia, which they completely dominated Georgia, looks even better today. So that's where I got things in my latest updated SEC Power Rankings. I'll get to your comments, questions, mockeries, and everything. And hey, shout out Cousin JR. What a man. What a man. Not even a man, a legend. JR, appreciate you. Alto Rick, you are now a member. Thanks to Cousin JR. Alto, welcome to the family. Longhorn Frenzy. A lot of pork with a side of Razorback tears was served in Fayette. Yeah, that was an impressive win. Tennessee couldn't win there. A lot of teams can't go into Fayette and win, but Texas did it. So, Texas may be a lock for the playoff now. Now that Tennessee lost, I'm trying to think. And yeah, I mean, you got to beat Kentucky. But I don't know that losing to A&M, and I'm not saying you even will, but if you do, I don't think they're going to dock you that many. Benjamin, appreciate you. Thanks for your prize picks, Mike. I won $50. Hell yeah. So I won something today. I don't win much, but I did win that. So I appreciate you, Benjamin. Brian says it well. Here comes the log jam. Yeah, so let's look at the updated SEC standings real quick to see exactly what Brian's talking about here. So in the conference right now, we got Texas and Texas A&M tied at 5-1 apiece. Oh, baby. Oh, man, if those teams, and they're going to be favored next week, Texas against Kentucky, Texas A&M at Auburn, no guarantee they win those games, but if they do, they're going to meet as tied for first in the SEC. Could not imagine a way to add more fuel to that game, yet we have sat here and done it. Georgia's number 3. So if I'm Georgia, I'm probably rooting for A&M in that finale, because then Texas would have a 6-2 conference record, and Georgia's got the tiebreaker. So Georgia would go to Atlanta, Texas would not. If A&M loses, they also would have they got to beat Auburn too. But I don't know who would go in that scenario. That's interesting. We got Tennessee 4th at 5-2, Alabama 4-2, Ole Miss 4-2. So yeah, this thing's a damn log jam here. So it's gonna get hectic here. Final weeks of the season. Whoo, Big Money says, I hate being a Mizzou fan. That's how half of us feel every Saturday in the SEC. Oh, the pain. Drinking helps, oh, trust me. Cowboy Matt says, Vols in trouble. Yes, indeed. I believe that is accurate. Trying to find some good questions here. How about look at the games next weekend? Let's take a quick look at that while I try to find some questions here. Man, we have got some shit games next week though, unfortunately. Let's get those first. UMass, we just might as well put them in the SEC, all these damn games they're playing. At Georgia, that should be fun. UMass at Georgia. UTEP, they're god-awful, I believe, at Tennessee. That'll be fun. Wofford, yes, Wofford at South Carolina. Louisiana Tech at Arkansas. Good God, we need to ban these games. Now, as for the conference, even the conference games are not that good. A&M at Auburn. Vanderbilt at LSU. Oh, baby. Could Brian Kelly get fired? I mean, probably not, but it'd be funny. It'd be funny if Clark Lee is the one that fired him, his former defensive coordinator. Ole Miss at Florida. That may be the best game on the docket. Missouri at Mississippi State. And Alabama at Oklahoma. That's our games next weekend. If the wife, the girlfriend, what have you, if she is wanting you to do something next weekend, may be the weekend to do it, because that is rough right there. Tyler says, where do you think Georgia gets ranked after that win? Some ugly Big Ten. I mean, they'll be about where Tennessee is. I think like 8th, probably something like that. If I had to take a guess. Georgia's in. Georgia's got no issues unless, and I hate to jinx them, but unless they go to the SEC championship and lose. That could cost you. That could bounce you. But the way they're playing, are they going to lose? I don't know. I don't think so. If Carson Beck plays like he did tonight, they could win the national championship with the defense. And hell, Georgia's hella banged up with running backs and receivers, and they're still getting it done. Cam, how high does South Carolina jump this week? Probably, I mean, you guys are asking me some tough questions here that I don't really have an answer to, but South Carolina, let's pull that up. Where were they ranked? South Carolina was 21. Clemson won. Colorado won. Kansas State lost, I'm pretty sure. I mean, they're not, I don't think South Carolina's going to jump too much, but maybe like 18 at the highest. I don't know. That's just a guess. I don't pay attention to the other conferences or anything like that. So, Where is Shane? Shane is got cinnamon poison because he ate so much of that Dollywood cinnamon bread, even though he's allergic to it. He cannot open his eyes, is what he told. Hopefully he couldn't even watch that Tennessee offense in the second half. He had to rest his eyes. I think he just had to hear it. He was probably listening to the radio because that's probably the only way he could take that game in, if I had to guess. Let's see. Howdy toddy. There you go. Big weekend for Ole Miss. Didn't even play, but they were the big winners, I think, this weekend in the SEC. Caleb, where's the big orange ball? Caleb, this must be your first time because he doesn't do any of these. He doesn't do any of these. Every time the Vols lose, Mike crowns them. Well, they don't lose that often, so they've only lost twice. I don't remember crowning them after they lost to Arkansas. I don't know where you're getting that from. LSU is who we thought they were. Yes, indeed. I mean, God, that was just pitiful, wasn't it? Pitiful. Is Bama a lock for the SEC championship? No, I don't even know. No, again, let's go to the standings here. I don't think they're right now on path to get there, because Alabama is fifth in the standings. Tennessee's ahead of them. Tennessee's got the head-to-head. Now, Georgia, they could overtake them. Alabama could. Alabama wins out. They would have the edge over Georgia on head-to-head. But A&M's ahead of Bama. Texas ahead of Bama. Tennessee. So, no, Alabama is not a lock. I don't even know if they make it there. And I don't even know if you want to go. It's like what I just said about Georgia. If you go and you lose and you have 2 losses, you get a third, you're probably out. Smokey says you tried to double curse the dogs. I know. I thought the dogs were going to win the whole time. I don't have curse powers. That's Shane. He did try to curse Georgia. And so many people online got mad because they couldn't figure out why he would pick against Tennessee. But he locked them up for a reason. I locked up ULM. I tried to curse you. I don't have curse powers. Tim says, don't worry, LSU. Ole Miss will show you how to beat Florida. That's not really much of an accomplishment. I mean, hell, Florida's lost half the games they played. Let's see. All right, I'm way behind on the comments. What else we got here? What else do we got here? Congrats to the Cox. Hell of a game. Yep, that was the game of the day right there. Not everyone can beat Georgia, says Jet Beam. Truer words have never been spoken. But some of us picked you to beat Georgia. So how about that? Georgia doesn't lose very often, though. Point well taken. Point well taken. Rebel Doc says Texas is a fraud. Arkansas should have had him. Vandy should have had him. His words, not mine. But I don't necessarily disagree. What? More Texas is, man. Why you people hate Texas? You're just jealous of them. You wish you were them. And their burnt orange color, it's so cool. And all their championships that they've never won, but they act like they won. Who is leading the SEC right now? Texas. Again, we all want to be Texas. At Texas A&M, they lead the SEC right now. Each at 5-1, I think it is. I just look like I'm drinking. Yeah, 5-1, each of them. Marcus does not seem like a nice man here. What else we got? Fire some questions. I'm trying to find some good questions here, and I'm not seeing any. Texas defense is legit. Absolutely. Never said otherwise. Tighter says shit rankings as usual, but yet here you are. It's funny how that works, isn't it? You're wasting your time on shit rankings, apparently. Texas is number one at throwing trash, literally and verbally. What a comment from Bo. That's early comment of the night right there. What else we got here? Man, these Texas fans, they're brutal. They're not very smart. All right, here's Cousin Shane. Apparently, you can't use a lock like a weapon. Damn it. A lot of great games today. Just hate the officiating will be the talking point this weekend. Only if you make it there, Shane, which I think you are trying to do. Officiating did not cost Tennessee that game. No. Lack of explosive passing, lack of getting to Carson Beck, lack of pass defense is what cost Tennessee that game. Mother Lover Jones. Now, this is always my favorite. Mike's rankings are very biased. Well, I mean, that's the whole point. They're my rankings. I mean, how? Yeah, of course. Of course. That is a stupid comment. There's only one person putting them together. And everyone's got a bias. Texas versus Texas A&M. Again, it's not official yet because Texas got Kentucky. Texas A&M's got Auburn. They should win. They'll probably be at least 10. I don't know if A&M will be a 10-point favorite at all. But they should be. Auburn's awful. But that's going to be one hell of a game. One hell of a game. I can't imagine what those accounts are going for, or those tickets. Angry Accountant, appreciate you. You're damn right. Those Rebels are at the top, so we appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, I think Ole Miss can win the national championship. How about that? I thought Tennessee had a better defense than Ole Miss, says Pontoto Rebel. I think they do. I still think that. And ask Kentucky, and they will tell you that as well, I would imagine. But, yeah, I mean, that was a game in Oxford. As opposed to if you were playing in Georgia, same thing. You would have got your ass handed to you. If that game was in Neyland, I think Tennessee may have won it. I mean, I don't think the separation between these teams is that wide. It's a lot about playing in your home environment. And quite frankly, I don't think Ole Miss has much of a home environment, but they did last week. I think it was the first time in about 20 years they had a home field advantage for a big game. Usually your coach is asking you to come to the game, stay at the game, make noise at the game. That's not something most of these SEC coaches have to do with their fans, but Kiffin does it about 3 times a year, it seems like. Bradley, Lenore Sellers is the truth, no doubt. He's incredible, and he's getting better and better each week. Better and better. What else we got here? What else? Looking for some good questions here. Big Roge, I hope Shane gets better soon. I think he'll be all right. He just needs to lay off the cinnamon. I mean, it's an easy fix. He doesn't have to eat the cinnamon. He's just going for it. And Tennessee getting their ass whooped in Athens is probably not helping. He's probably got a heaping of cinnamon right there. Rusty, standing on business, Beamer. Oh, Lord. You guys really know how to twist the knife on old drink, don't you? One of our favorites. Come on now. Tighter. Okay, I got why this guy's so angry. He is still mad about the decaying dynasty. They haven't won a non-COVID title since 2017, yet we're still a dynasty. It's damn near 10 years later. Bama will make Mike look stupid as per usual. I think tighter in Florida. I think you do a good job of that on your own. So, Eli, standing on business. How about the Gamecocks? Yeah, I mean, they're red hot. They should go to the playoff, I think. They won't, but they should. I'm not a fan of these committees' formula, but it is what it is. I can't change it. Not yet. Little Joe C says, if Alabama wins out, we're there. I don't know what that means. Where's their playoff? I don't know. They should. Let's get me with some questions here. This whiskey's starting to kick in. Will Tennessee fall 9 spots like Georgia did? I don't think so. Where was Tennessee? Tennessee was 8. Will they fall 9? No, but I think they'll fall to maybe like 15. So what's that? That's like 7. Something like that. If I had to guess, 14, 15, 13, something like that. They'll certainly fall. They'll take a tumble, as they should when you lose a game like that. Monkey says Shane had too much cornbread and he can't open his eyes. Don't blame the cornbread hemp. Cornbreadhemp.com. Blame the cinnamon bread at Dollywood, not a sponsor. Do not blame the sponsors. They are innocent in this one. Damn, was that bread that good? Here's the thing. I don't even think it's that good. I mean, I've never had it, but Shane thinks everything's good. So I don't think it has anything to do with how good the bread is. I don't know. Shane, he can answer that question for you. Shane says, I'm just going to sit here and drink. So I guess he can open his eyes enough to watch this program, I guess. What else we got here? Oh, Benjamin, Georgia fan says the penalties were the biggest factor in that game. Uh-oh. And he's a Georgia fan. I'm just reading his comments. I don't think that was the biggest, but I'd say it was a slight factor, but not 2 touchdowns. I don't think it was a 2 touchdown factor. Maybe a touchdown. Bradley, where does Sellers rank among SEC quarterbacks? I mean, you guys love quarterback rankings. I don't really rank the quarterbacks. There's so much going on there, but since you gave me $2, I'll say 7th. There you go. He's 7th. I just thought of that. Anything else here? I'm trying to find questions. There's about 500 comments to go through here. Oh, here we go. JP, appreciate. Oh, I missed a lot of these. Okay. JP, appreciate you. He just gifted a membership to Chase Burrell. Thank you, JP. And Chase, welcome to the family. The Floyd family gave us $5. Is it possible for A&M Texas to be meaningless because both are guaranteed to make it to Atlanta? If so, a meaningless game would be meaningful. I do not think that's going to be the case because, again, they are going to be tied. If they win out next week, they'll be tied going into that. But Georgia's right there. Tennessee's right there. Alabama's right there. And Georgia has beaten Texas. So if Georgia and Texas are both 6-2, hell, and if Alabama is 6-2, shit. And then if Ole Miss is 6-2, no, you better win that. The loser of Texas A&M is not getting in to the SEC championship, and that's what you're asking here. But no, I think any losses from anyone, they're potentially out. Tim, I appreciate you for your $5. JP, guys, I'm sorry for the L. Much love, but how about them dogs? Yeah, they whooped Tennessee's ass. JP just gifted another membership. Appreciate you, JP, to Nintendo. Dad, what a name. Welcome to the family. JP, who do you have picked for the SEC championship game after today? After today, give me Georgia and Texas. That would probably be, now if A&M wins that game, it'll be A&M. God, and then it gets confusing as hell. I think the SEC is going to root for Texas because if Texas can go 7-1, they're a lock. And then it's a damn battle royale after them. But if you're asking me who are the best, probably, give me Texas, give me Georgia. I think that's, and shit, we've already seen that game, though. Doesn't mean we can't get it again. I kind of would like to see a new game, to be honest with you. Platonic Rebel, I would love to hear your reasoning as to why Tennessee is a better defense than Ole Miss. You must have double dose at cornbread hemp tonight. Why are they a better defense? Well, I mean, they've damn shut down damn near everybody they played till Georgia with their backs against the wall. Didn't LSU go up and down the field on Ole Miss with the game on the line? Mm-hmm. I mean, even Oklahoma was having some success. I don't know. I mean, who the hell cares? Who gives a shit if Ole Miss is 1 and Tennessee's 2, or Tennessee's 1 and Ole Miss is? It don't matter. You go to the playoff. Why are you sitting here bitching about what I have to say about one slight ranking? I mean, they're both elite. They're both going to go 10 and 2. They're borderline playoff. It's really not that big of a deal. It's really not. Angry account, take back that slander on the Ole Miss fans. We can't help it. We're already drunk by the time we get to the stadium. That's true. They never lose a party down there. Aggies, Taco Bear. Who would you have a tiebreaker between A&M and Georgia, assuming A&M takes a loss against Texas? Texas A&M. Texas would be 7-1. A&M and Georgia would be 6-2. I mean, I really don't know, man. There is a tiebreaker website, though, that has all that information. It's way too complicated for me to follow. JP, appreciate you. You got my shirt. Awesome. Thanks, Cuz. Pop goes to culture. I'm glad you did last night's show. Has me watching teams' records a lot more. Thank you for laying it out. Yeah, appreciate you. So I'll do that next week, too. Now that we're heating up, we got to know who to root for and who not to root for, and it's going to help everybody out. But I need to I'll probably, by tomorrow's show, I'll recap, who won the most, who lost the most by all the results from last night's show, if you missed any of that. So, lawn chair legend wears shirts, need some hats for game day. We got a TeePublic site. I can leave a link in the bio here, but stuff for purchase. Any other questions here? Riddle me this. Does power rankings sound right except for Texas? They don't belong in the top 3 at all. Texas get no love. Stubbs Milling says Texas has not played anyone. Carolina, however. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if anybody's beating Carolina right now, which is just so damn bad that they got ripped off against LSU, because they should be a 2-loss team, not a 3-loss team. Not 7-3. They should be 8-2. Now, Ole Miss whipped their ass. Alabama barely beat them. Only that one game. And one call they'd like to get back in South. That's why that was so big, man. South Carolina would be going to the playoff if not for stupid ass bad calls. And there was many. There was like 4 horrible calls, including the one people don't talk about, Sellers, the pick he threw in the end zone. He got decapitated. I mean, you can't even touch these guys in the head. He got clotheslined, and they didn't even throw a flag on a pick in the end zone. I mean, that's a turning point. And the quarterback got hurt for second half, and what were they up 17-0, something like that when he got hurt? I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. The committee should take all that into effect, but apparently they don't. Apparently they don't. Hey, JP just gave 5 memberships. My goodness, he's feeling good. Now that his dogs just whipped the piss out of Tennessee, he's feeling good. We appreciate you, JP. Brandon Riley, Christopher Shannon, Bradley Pritchard, Double D, and Aussie Maverick. You have all been gifted memberships. Thanks to Cousin JP. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh, man. We got any other questions here? Again, this whiskey, I'm about out here. So that's basically as long as I go until I'm out. Of course, I could pour another, I guess. The night is young, and we have lots to drink to after that beat down. Shane, do you have a question? Please help me out here. Hell yeah, JP, he says. The Vandy that beat Bama, right? That one. All right, yeah, let's recap the power because people are saying they didn't get the power rankings. Here's the power rankings. And again, neutral field, Team A meets Team B. Ole Miss, number 1. Georgia, number 2. Texas, number 3. Tennessee, number 4. Texas A&M, 5. South Carolina, 6. Alabama, 7. Vanderbilt, 8. Florida, 9. Missouri, 10. LSU, 11. Arkansas, 12. Oklahoma, 13. Auburn, 14. Kentucky, 15. And Mississippi State, 16. That's your updated SEC power rankings. And Glenn, appreciate you, brother. He just gifted a membership to Dawn Scruggs. Dawn, welcome to the family, brother. But who's on upset alert next week? All right, these are the questions. Appreciate you. This is a real Shane here, not like that other guy that won't ask questions. Who's on upset alert next week? Let's throw up the schedule. Again, the schedule is pretty piss poor in the SEC, but who is on upset alert? Maybe A&M. Looking ahead to Texas, you can't rule it out. Auburn got some momentum. Maybe A&M. I think that's a candidate. Vanderbilt at LSU. I think LSU is. I mean, hell, Diego Pavia loves to run the football. We know LSU can't defend a running quarterback. LSU on upset alert. How about Ole Miss at Florida? Florida. I mean, their fans are over the moon. They want to sign Billy Napier to an extension now. He won a damn game. Let's give him an extension. Yeah, he lost by 60 last week, but he won this game, so he's great. Ole Miss not on upset alert. Sorry, I can't go that far. And then Alabama at Oklahoma. I don't think so. Missouri at Mississippi State. Probably not. I think the biggest one is probably A&M at Auburn because that Texas game looms so large, and Vanderbilt, LSU. Those would be my 2 upset alert type games, I think. Bo says, I know the formula takes bad losses into consideration, but how about good wins? Yes, ranked wins, quality wins. A quality win is any win over a team with a winning record. So those are the 2 of the 5 criteria they look at. And this is the playoff committee. Will Hugh Freeze beat Bama? No. Come on, man. Come on. Hugh Freeze? He ain't beating shit. No, I think he's got like 2 SEC wins, doesn't he? No, 1 this year. Maybe 2 last year. Red hot, Hugh Freeze. No, they're going to get destroyed. Jerry, Mike, I done asked 4 questions and you ain't read a single one. Well, there's about 5,000 people in here, so ask it again. I may have missed it here. Live late night tonight. Glad to see all your first time checking in live. Yeah, appreciate you. Lawn chair legend. How do you got South Carolina above Alabama? I mean, have you watched South Carolina the last month? Just beating the shit out of everybody. That team, as opposed to Alabama, they won 1 game. That was an impressive game. Beat the hell out of LSU. But again, that loses luster the more LSU play. LSU, I think, is an average-ass football team. I really do. So give me South Carolina to beat Alabama on a neutral field. That's how I have it. Ant Bant, how high does Carson Beck get drafted? In the Canadian Football League or NFL? I think he could go number 1 overall in Canadian football. NFL, not sure. Is Tennessee on official Vandy watch in a couple? Hell yeah. I think Vanderbilt can beat Tennessee. I think Vanderbilt's better than Arkansas. And Arkansas beat Tennessee. And Diego Pavia, it may be his last game ever. I know he's suing the NCAA. I hope he wins that, by the way, so he can come back for 2 more years and beat Hugh Freeze's ass 2 more times. But, Vanderbilt sure as hell can beat Tennessee, no doubt. Head-to-head, South Carolina blew out A&M. Why would South Carolina be below? I say this every time. I've said it a million times. On a neutral field. That's what I say it a million times. Line up A&M, South Carolina on neutral field. Give me A&M. South Carolina at night, that's a hostile environment. And that game was not as lopsided, I don't think, as the final. They piled on a little late. So give me A&M over South Carolina if they met again. Carolina Titan, who's Texas' best win? Vanderbilt. But Vanderbilt's pretty good, actually. And it was at Vanderbilt. We gotta note that as well. Even though they don't have a home field advantage, really. But all right. I think I'm running out of whiskey here. Any other questions here? That's true. Texas barely beat Vanderbilt. That is true. Next week, when Ole Miss beats Florida, they will want to fire Sunbelt Billy, says Tim. Yeah, I mean, I think that's 100% right. We're fickle, man. You win a game, our guy's great. You lose us, fire his ass. You know what? I mean, I was ready to name Brian Kelly Coach of the Year about 3 weeks ago. Now he may get fired. Cousin Shay, which team has the biggest surprise and which was the biggest disappointment, and why were they both in Gainesville today? Yeah. Biggest surprise today, hell, may have been Arkansas, as sad as that is, because they lost the damn game. But I didn't think they would really compete too hard with Texas. Tennessee surprised me a little bit with that early fight. And I didn't know it would be like that. No, the biggest surprise was Missouri. I mean, everybody had Missouri getting their ass kicked. They damn near won that football game. Came down to the final bit. So Missouri was the most surprising, most disappointing. LSU. Absolutely. Mike is mad, BC, because he couldn't get into Texas. No. I would not have got to, I would have no interest in going to Texas. Have you been to Austin? No. Okay. What else we got here? Could Ole Miss win the tiebreaker at 6-2? That I don't know. That's an interesting question. I don't think there's really any way Ole Miss can get there. And I don't think they want to. I really don't. I think they give them. I would take the week off. The SEC championship. Smokey says Nico was beat up at the end of the game. I wonder if he makes it to Vandy. That's a good question. Last on. Was Ole Miss on upset alert when they played Kentucky? Yes. In fact, they were. And we said that. We said that the whole week. Now, we picked Ole Miss, but that was, you got to remember, that was, Ole Miss was just playing cupcake after cup. They had all cupcakes, and then they played an SEC team. They weren't ready. They weren't ready for it. You can't just take a month of cupcakes and then jump into the SEC. That killed them. I don't think they'll ever schedule quite that poorly again. I really don't. Cousin Shane, top 3 hottest seats right now. And are those 3 back? I don't think anyone's getting fired in the SEC. Hugh Freeze, number 1, he should be fired. He won't be. Brent Venables, he probably should be fired. He won't be. Mark Stoops should be fired. Won't be. So, yeah, I think they're all back. No one's getting fired. It's very disappointing. It's going to make for not an engaging December for me because I like to follow these coaching searches. But everyone's got massive buyouts. So I think they're all back. There's too much up in the air with the NCAA and how much they got to pay the players. And I don't know. There's a lot going on here. All right. I think I'm out of whiskey. We went a little bit longer than normal, but let me double check. I don't want to miss any supers. MC, appreciate you. Where does Ole Miss finish in the college football rank? Finish? Are you saying next week, or are you saying end of regular season? Because next week on Tuesday, that's what I'm talking about. So you were 11. You'll move up. At least you should. Of course, some of these teams don't move up after not playing. But Tennessee's going to move down, but Georgia's going to move up. Ole Miss may be about the same, 10 or 11. I don't think they're going to. Who lost in front of them besides Tennessee? So maybe Ole Miss. Maybe you put Ole Miss where Tennessee was, and you put Georgia where Ole Miss is now. That would be fair to me. So, maybe Ole Miss can move up to like 8. That could be their highest. And then I think you're asking maybe at the end of the season, the highest Ole Miss could get maybe 5 or 6. But the problem with Ole Miss, their last couple of games, they don't have any way to impress the committee. Because what has Ole Miss got? I'm going to throw up their schedule. This is the last thing I'm going to do. Florida does not have a winning record. Mississippi State does not have a winning record. So beating those teams is not going to help you in the committee. Again, this is the committee's criteria. This is all they look at, other than obviously win-loss record. This is what they're looking at. And one thing that would really help Ole Miss if Kentucky wins out. Now, they're probably not going to because Kentucky plays Texas next week, and they play Louisville after that. So Kentucky's probably going to lose out, but you need Kentucky to win out so that they're not a bad loss. And a bad loss is a loss to any team with a losing record, which is what you got on your record right now. Is Cousin Shane okay? I don't think Cousin Shane has ever been okay. But I think he's all right. No, on second thought, I don't think he is. Tennessee just lost. He may not speak for till we have to go and do a show tomorrow. So that's a good place to end it. 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central tomorrow. Recap all these games. Hopefully, Cousin Shane is his eyes are opened by that time. The cinnamon has released him like Georgia's defense released his Vols, hopefully within a 24-hour window here. But that's going to do it. We'll catch you on the next one.